Welcome once again to the BCHS Bear Network. I'm your host, Gary Ownbey. Today we're going to talk about boys soccer with head coach Miguel Armenta and also Ted Lackey as assistant coach there, or co-head coach, whatever you may be. Before we do though, folks, I'd like to apologize. Yesterday we were doing a tennis interview, talking about things and so forth. And I want to apologize to the Bradley County Board of Education and administration and so forth about the comments I made about the track and the tennis courts. So please understand, we're trying to keep a positive outlook here when we talk about sports at Bradley County High School. Here at Studio H12 today, talking with the two coaches and coaches. I'll start with you, Miguel. When will you be starting your soccer season? I know this is the first week of spring sports in Tennessee.
It is. We're supposed to be having a game this Thursday against Grace. It's a home game, but we're hoping that we can still get it in. If not, I'm hoping to be able to reschedule it.
So the weather could have a big factor there, and obviously we've had a lot of rain the last couple of days and overnight, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm afraid that with our field conditions, we might be swimming instead of playing.
Where would your next match be then after that?
Then Friday we travel to Greenback. It's a new team. We haven't really played them much other than the tournament that we played them.
Loudon County, I think.
It's out of Knoxville from what I hear.
Yeah.
I've never been up there, but we'll see what we have. We haven't had any games, any scrimmages. It's just been, our boys playing against each other, so it gives us an idea of what we got this year.
All right. How many years have you been involved in Bradley soccer?
This is my 10th year.
5th year or 6th?
10th.
Oh, 10th year.
10th year.
I couldn't hardly hear that.
Yeah.
Coach Lackey, I know you're part of the soccer program. How long have you been working with soccer?
Not counting the COVID year, 3 years. This will be my third season because I didn't get last season, so
Well,
I'm
then
looking
it would have
forward
been
to it.
I got you there. Well, COVID, we're so sick and tired of talking about COVID, but maybe this time next year we're not talking about COVID.
Right.
Is your background in soccer? Did you play soccer?
Yes, I've pretty much played all my life. I played as a goalkeeper, and he was a forward, so between the both of us, we kind of have the whole field.
Yeah.
And so it's been nice. But yeah, I started out played for the Flames during my entire club career, and then played for Cleveland Middle and Cleveland High. So.
What do you think about the new facilities over at Lee?
The new facilities at Cleveland look awesome. The way they've got the turf, and that gives them the ability to play in the rain. So when it rains here and we're, put in the gym, they get to be out there on the field and practice, which kind of puts us at a little disadvantage. But I think more and more teams are kind of heading that direction. So,
yeah. Well, we hope so. Maybe it's in the future for Bradley. Who knows? But well, Coach, looking forward to this season now. How is the structure of your team? Is it senior laden, or is it young team this year, or what's the mix on that?
That's our favorite question.
Yeah, we have a very young team. We do have a couple of seniors, but mainly sophomores and a few juniors. We're pretty young.
And some freshmen with a lot of potential.
Yes, and we have some
well, the
freshmen.
good news is a freshman. The bad news is a freshman. I guess, the way that goes.
It's bittersweet.
Yeah, bittersweet there. Your captains, Ted, what?
Captains are Nazar Brzezinski, Alex Maystruck, and Vlad Maystruck, and they're brothers.
The brothers and cousins, maybe.
Yeah, something like that.
Maybe. I don't want to get in trouble.
But I think they're going to do well. I think, as far as their ability to lead, they can lead on and off the field. I'd like for them to be a little more vocal overall, on the field, but I think that'll come with time and experience. So I think they'll be good for us this year, and I think they have potential to be captains again next year.
There's a lot of communication needed on the field during the game.
Out of those three, 2 of them are juniors.
Yes. And we usually don't do that. We usually have only senior captains, but this year we've opened it up for juniors and seniors just because the amount of juniors that there are that have taken on those leadership roles.
Yeah.
And so, we ended up with 2 juniors and a senior as captains.
How bad did not having a season last year, Miguel? I mean, that tears a lot of people up. Was it tough coming back?
If we stay positive, I think it made them hungrier or more hungry, whatever the English right version of that is.
It should, yes.
They're anxious. They're ready to go. They're excited. Out of the conversations when we're supposed to have a scrimmage yesterday with Eastridge, that didn't happen. They seemed a little disappointed, and then they didn't care whether the rain, we had puddles or anything. They still want the game in on Thursday. They're just ready to go.
I guess conditioning and like soccer, there's a lot of running in soccer, and I guess conditioning is one of the paramount things
Yeah, and I think that's what's been a little, there were good and bad things about getting a break for a year. In some ways, I think it was good for a lot of teams. In some ways, I think it was bad for a lot of teams. You do miss out on the game experience, but I think it's given us more time overall to focus on conditioning, to focus on things off the ball that you don't think about as much. You think about skill on the ball all the time, and there's so much you do in soccer off the ball. You don't have that ball 87 minutes of every soccer game. And so it really is important what you're doing when you don't have it.
Well, you were a goalie, you say, in high school and college and all that. Is that a tough position to play?
I think it's the most different position on the field. I think there's tougher parts to it,
Okay.
and I think there's easier parts to it. I'm not covering the ground that field players are. Field players run 7 or 8 miles a game, and I'm not running that, but when I am needed, it's very crucial moments and very exciting moments when the ball is in the box, and so you've got to be able to kind of go with it sometimes, and you've got to be able to communicate. And that's one thing we're working on with the guys is being vocal.
Oh, okay.
Going back to that.
Communication again. Miguel, when you were playing soccer in your younger days, were you on the field as a trying to score, I guess?
I've never thought of what goalies go through. I'm always the one. I was the one trying to make sure the ball was in the net. But talking to Coach Lackey here, we've had some conversations, and he's made some points to the team. And I'm like, man, I've never thought about it as a goalie. Being a goalie, it's terrible. Not in a bad way.
Talking about how tough it was to get the ball out of the net when you get scored on. It's excruciating. It's a tough thing to do in sports to get that ball out of the net when they score.
I hadn't thought about that.
It takes a special person to get the ball out of the net over and over and over.
In soccer, the field players are making sure the ball's in the net. Whereas when you're playing against that other team, that goalie is responsible for making sure that ball comes out of the net again.
Wow. What's the toughest part about, if as a player you think, the toughest part about being in soccer involves just trying to get into shape and...
not so much being in the right condition or shape. I think being able to read the game more than being in shape or more than being talented. I mean, you can be talented, but you're not well positioned, or you can be in good shape, but then you can just run up and down the field like crazy, not knowing where to do or what to do with the ball. But I think just being intelligent, having the intelligence to read the game, know what's next, and know what to do before you even get the ball. Know what to do with it.
The positioning, I know you see players that are going to go a short way, don't kick it, and then it'll get to someone who's coming toward them to help them out, whatever. It's all about positioning, I guess. Like you're saying,
You'll
you
run
can
yourself ragged, if you're not in position. You got to play your position.
You can run up down the field and never touch the ball, or never be in position to touch the ball. But if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, you're helping advance the ball, or you're helping defend against the ball. And the guy back here in the goalie net, he's hoping to stay on that end of the field.
Yes.
But I hope it's an exciting season for you guys there. Who makes up our district for our soccer district? Is it the same as baseball, basketball, and that group of folks is different?
Some teams, I see that football, for example, they travel far, and it's still part of district games. And then basketball has got different district games. But overall, we do share the same district, partially. I believe, I'm not sure if Saudi Days is still part of our district for certain sports for our school, but for us, it's not. For soccer, it's not. East Hamilton used to be as well, but they're not anymore. I believe we're adding next season, we added 2 more to our district. If I'm not wrong, we're adding Howard and Ray County. So again, those are 2 schools that I'm pretty sure that they're probably not going to be part of the district for other sports in our.
Well, they become part of our district for basketball next year.
Okay.
Ray, so that may
And
be.
see, Ray used to be part of our district when I played at Cleveland. That was a district game, and so was Saudi. So it was different not having those options. But yeah, we have a small district. I feel like it's Cleveland, Walker Valley, McMinn, and Ottawa, and us. It's just 5.
5 teams.
So it makes it tough to. When those teams are already at the level they are, it makes it tough to compete in the district in the same ways we compete outside of the district, I believe. Our district is generally
matches
tough.
and games do you have during the year, regular season, basically?
Regular game, you get 16 total, but that's only if you don't do any tournaments. But if you do tournaments, each tournament counts as 2, although you get to play 3 or 4. It only goes down on their schedule as 2 games.
Right. And postseason will be played where at a particular central location, or will it be played on the field of higher seasons?
Depending
depends on
on
who.
where you're at on district, that's how you get to play. Either you get to host or you get to travel.
Well, it's hard to believe it's here, but you know, it seems like, and it's been almost 2 years since you guys have played. I mean, it's been that way for all the spring sports, you know, unfortunately. Hopefully we're not talking about this next year, but it's here now. And,
Right.
Hope the weather lets up with the rain. We need some rain from time to time. We don't need as much as we've been getting.
It is spring. It is expected.
And I don't remember the spring being so messy when I played. And I don't know if it's because I was more relieved as a player not having to play a game or something. Now as a coach, it makes me mad, so I remember it.
But
I
even
can't.
last year today, it was still just as bad. It was still just as bad. I mean, we went days without seeing the field. It was always gym.
We will practice in the gym for a week straight.
And I was very
Yes.
thankful, to the basketball coaches for allowing us to be in there.
But it's not like being on the field, though, where you got room to maneuver.
Yeah, the gym is different. Your touch is less forgiving. The ball travels way faster, and so the gym will really highlight your mistakes. You can look good out on a field, and when you get in the gym and try to play soccer, it looks different.
Really a miss.
Yes, it looks different sometimes. So helps to use the wall, though.
Yeah.
You can play off the wall, which helps.
Coach Lackey, what do you teach here at Bradley?
I teach chemistry here at Bradley, and I really enjoy that. I used to teach biology as well, but having soccer almost feel like an extra planning.
It is.
I don't think I could do 2 different classes and coach, so I chose chemistry, and I'm really happy with my decision.
How long have you been on staff here now?
4 years total.
And your dad, you come from an education family, don't you?
Yes, my grandfather used to teach here. My dad's still around town, so and he went here. Carol taught here.
Yeah, we remember all those Lackeys, And Miguel, you're teaching Spanish here still? You've been
Correct.
here, how many years you been here now?
This is my 10th year.
10th year.
This is my 10th year teaching.
You've been a soccer coach all those years.
I started as an assistant, but yes, I started as an assistant for 2 years, and then I've been head coach ever since.
Wow. Any final thoughts before we wrap things up here about the season coming up and all that? And you're ready to go? Kids
Hopefully,
ready to go?
yeah, we can pull it together and give some people some stuff to cheer about.
Have you been able to play any scrimmage games leading up to this, or practice games, or was that
They
zero
wouldn't,
outlawed?
yeah, but they wouldn't let us.
We had 2 scrimmages scheduled, and then we had a play day, kind of like a jamboree day.
Play like a
scheduled.
half game against a few different people.
You go against 4 different schools. You only play halves, but we didn't get to do that. So we haven't had any playing time experience this season yet.
But everybody's in the same boat, I guess,
Yes.
too. I mean, nobody else can have those either. So you're going to open hopefully Thursday
I hope so.
with Grace.
I hope so. And if not, we're gonna have to reschedule. We can't lose.
Yep.
We can't lose a game. Like, we have to play the game. We want to play the game.
Yeah. Well, let's hope you get to play that, and wish you the best of luck this season.
Thank you, sir.
Down the road, into the postseason, whatever happens there, and keep everybody safe and healthy. We'll talk again.
All right.
Thank you.
Hopefully, it'll be a good conversation.
I hope it is. We're going to wrap up our show here on the BCHS Bear Network, talking about boys soccer. Until next time, we'll talk again. I've been your host, Gary Ownbey, and we'll see you later. God bless, and go Bears.